This is the TermaVIDA heating panel. It is a multi-layer panel consisting of plasterboard, insulation with vapor-proof aluminum foil, double-layer heating piping, PIR board with space for piping, rear insulation with vapor-proof aluminum foil. The panels come in various standard sizes, allowing for installation in rooms over 3 meters high using dry construction techniques. This is also important when installing panels under the ceiling. The panels have entries for electrical cables at 2 heights. The front of the plasterboard has auxiliary prints indicating drilling spots and markers to aid installation. Before starting installation, transport the boards safely. After delivery, carry the panels to the installation site using special handles. Store the panels on a clean, flat, and dry surface. Alternatively, use a forklift for unloading. Mark the floor and ceiling levels carefully. Find the lowest point of the floor and mark 1 meter high on the wall using a laser level. Measure and cut the panel edges to match the wall markings. Be careful when cutting to avoid damaging the panel piping. Each panel has a safe zone at the bottom, 70 millimeters high. The TermaVIDA panel can be cut to fit uneven ceilings. If the floor is uneven, level it before installation. Leave an additional 1 centimeter space from the floor when cutting the panel. Use special spacers included with each panel for this purpose. Start the assembly by placing the mounting system elements. Follow the instructions for spacing, every 60 centimeters on the panel edges and every 80 centimeters in the middle. Install the ceiling mounting elements flush with the ceiling line, which may result in smaller distances from the elements below. Begin assembly from the corner with the heating panel, screwing it into the marked places. Supply and return pipes should be at a designated distance from the floor. Leave a minimum 15 millimeter gap between the panel and the wall. Lubricate 2 connecting fittings with silicone grease and press them into the mounted panel. Apply a layer of sanitary silicone to the rear edge of the PIR panel to seal it before connecting the heating panels. Tie strings together to distribute the electric cables in both channels before connecting the panels. For windows, use window panels, cutting them to fit window dimensions. Use at least 2 panels per window, as their piping occupies only the lower part. Similarly, install door panels with piping above the door frame. Connect the panels, leaving a 3 to 4 millimeters gap between them. At the end of the wall, insert the last heating panel, and if there's not enough space for a full panel, use a narrow heating panel, 600 millimeters wide. Close the wall with an additional panel which can be cut to any height and width. TermaVIDA also offers ceiling panels for heating and cooling. Press plugs into the last heating panel and the first panel's threaded connectors to connect to the central heating system and close the circuit. Alternatively, connect the panels crosswise to the heating installation. Perform a pressure test before commissioning the system. After the pressure test, start the heating system and use a thermal imaging camera to ensure the heating medium is evenly distributed. Adjust the flow using valves if needed. The valve in each panel is covered with a masking sticker, indicated by a print on the panel. Use the thermal imaging camera throughout the process. Fill gaps between panels with low-pressure foam from a gun. Grout with paper tape and a compound dedicated to the tape. Afterward, finish the walls as needed. TermaVIDA is a low-temperature system, so special paints or fillers are not required. TermaVIDA, walls full of warmth.